want to direct your attention to Capitol Hill. A group of senators are calling for a congressional investigation of the U.S. Olympic Committee and USA Gymnastics following Larry Nassar's abuse. Let's take a listen.
No fault of their own, their lives were changed forever. Oftentimes, I felt angry. I felt frustrated and helpless, wishing there was more that I could do to stop this from ever happening to them again. Recently, as I read these reports about the many failed opportunities to protect these young women, and in many cases, these children, from this monster, Larry Nassar, I have those same feelings of anger and of frustration from years ago while I was working at that women's crisis shelter. But this time we have the opportunity to do something. Do something for these women and for our athletes that represent our nation. I am immensely proud of the courageous young athletes who stood up and fought to ensure Larry Nassar can never lay his hands on another athlete. They have exposed a very dark truth and bravely paved the way for real change and accountability so that we can work to stop this abuse once and for all. We are introducing this resolution to establish a special committee entirely focused on investigating how this abuse was allowed to go on for so long and why leaders of the USOC and USA Gymnastics failed to protect these young women and the path forward to put an end to this type of outrageous abuse. We have the opportunity to stand up for the brave survivors who came forward, for our athletes, and for our children. And I'm proud to join my colleagues here today to finally say enough is enough. Thank you all again for being here today. Next, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina.
Let me say to both Senators Ernst and Shaheen, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the timing of this press conference where the Olympics starts just in a couple of days. Every single athlete should know that we care and that we're paying attention. And because of your leadership, those athletes now understand and appreciate the sincerity and the seriousness of your efforts. And I'm happy to join with you both. We take great pride in our Olympic athletes, and they should know without doubt that as they sacrifice so much to train and to represent the United States of America on the world stage, that they should be safe. In this regard, USOC and the USA Gymnastics have clearly failed our athletes. My heart goes out to the women affected and their families. This investigation is so important because we know what happened and because we know what happened, we need to ensure that it doesn't happen again. We need to make a promise and fulfill the promise to the women. Every single person should be respected. Every single woman should be respected, and it did not happen. It cannot happen again. And because of Senators Ernst and Shaheen's leadership, we are in a better position to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
Thank you, Tim. Senator Stabenow.
Thank you. Well, I also want to join in thanking Senator Shaheen, Senator Ernst, and all of my colleagues. You know, I represent the people of Michigan, and I'm an alumnus of Michigan State University, and I'm horrified, as are the people I represent, as are members of my family, about what has happened to these young survivors. Hundreds of them. We really don't know how many, in fact. And when I think about Larry Nassar and what he did continually, it is shocking to me that an institution that I love and respect and people in it let girls down and young women down over and over again. And we know that similar things have happened across the country. That's why it is so important that we shine the light of day on this in terms of this committee and this investigation. You know, last Friday, a father in Eaton County Court, just miles from my home, asked for 5 minutes with Larry Nassar. Now, as a mom and as a grandmother who now has a young granddaughter in sports, I thought, you know, I would have liked 5 minutes with this guy. I only wish that the security had been a little slower in constraining him till he could have gotten a couple of punches out. Because all of us understand how destructive and how outrageous this perversion and this man's actions have been. I've had the opportunity to meet with survivors, just last Saturday to meet with a group, and I know all of us who meet with them come away with this sense of awe at their bravery and at their strength in spite of everything that's happened. And I was also impressed with the fact that they now are looking forward. They are working with local police and are interested in developing videos and training materials that can work with teachers and coaches and police officers and so on.